Let's go. Let's roll with it. What is up? We on? We're on. We're live. We'll do it live.
Check. Did you check my mic?
No.
Check. Check.
You got to turn it on, sir.
Check my mic, bro. Oh my gosh. So nothing here.
Are you on?
Hold on.
Are you on?
Am I on now?
Yes.
Am I on now?
Check. Check
Yo,
1 2.
check 1 2.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Check.
Here we
Here
go.
we go. Here we
Here we go. Always prepared at Modern Dude Chat, and we are back. Back again. Another week. Another
The new
day
digs.
towards the end of our life.
The end of our life?
I don't know. I just want to take it somewhere dark.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't do that.
Why not?
Chuck.
It's 2020. Everything's dark.
Dude,
Everything is dark.
I feel you on that. Real quick, I know we talk about keeping this under an hour. Has COVID taken a mental toll on you at all in any way?
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with no.
Nice.
Probably you.
Nice. It has me for sure.
Yeah.
Because I like being like active on a daily. So it's kind of weird right now. But not to say that I'm not active, but it's just different, being around people. That's what keeps me going.
See, I'm a homebody to begin with, so
Yeah.
this is like the perfect excuse for me to not be around people. So,
Yeah.
no, it hasn't. The only thing I will say is it's going to be very weird when I do have to go back to the office full time, whenever that may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will be weird.
Yeah.
Like getting acclimated to office life again.
Yeah.
If we go back to a full-time schedule, that will get me.
I imagine it'll be weird for everybody, but I don't know. It's just weird times, dude. Like, I've noticed. I just cracked open a beer.
Like now,
it's not our feature,
no,
by
it's
the way.
not. I've just gotten used, work-wise. I've gotten used to the Skype meetings. I've gotten used to doing everything through email and stuff, and not doing a lot of face-to-face. So when I go back to work, it'll be back to face-to-face meetings and face-to-face chats and stuff, and that, I don't know. That'll be weird. That'll throw me off.
I think the positive out of that, though, is that'll be the new norm, right? Like Skype and Zoom meetings, possibly.
You would hope, but depending on who you work for.
I know.
Some companies are stuck in the old ways.
True.
Corona's really messed them up because they don't know how to conduct themselves or adapt. But
it's a crazy world out there right now, but I just had to ask that question because I feel like I started asking myself that this week. Like, dude, is it starting to mentally affect me? You know what I mean? And my kids and whatnot.
See, even though we don't talk about it. Like, my kid knows what coronavirus. Like I said, coronavirus the other day, and she's like, "That's a virus," but that's all she knows.
Yeah,
and she's used to people wearing masks.
Yeah,
I think it's affected my oldest the most.
Right.
Because she had to quit school early.
Yeah.
And now she's at home most of the time.
Right.
And the days are going together for her. And even almost today, I watched them today, and 10 o'clock, she's like, I don't want to be at home anymore. I want to go somewhere else.
I know. Yeah.
Not in a mean way, just
she
wants to go play somewhere else or go do other things. Because for the most part, we keep her at home unless she goes to family. But she more often than she has in the past, she's like, can I go here? Can I go do this? I want.
Can I get out of the house?
She's just tired of being at the house all day, every day.
Yeah, it's starting.
Even going outside doesn't appease it that much.
And that's because here's the other thing. I think it's because it's so hot right now here in Texas. It's so hot. It's miserable. You can't even go outside. It's not even worth it.
No, it's
but it's starting to take a toll.
Tomorrow's forecast is 101.
Right.
And it's going to feel 109 or something.
For the next week.
Right now, it is time check 11:15, and what did you say? It's 80.
It's 89.
89 and feels
right
90 something.
Feels like 97 is what it says.
It's the middle of the night almost.
Middle of the night, yeah. It's not good.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, and that's maybe that's what it is too. It's the heat, and then the fact that everybody's trapped. Or most people are trapped.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out is it starting to affect people mentally? Is it really Is it really getting down to
I think if you've placed yourself on like a big time lockdown,
yeah,
I can't imagine that it hasn't.
Right.
Or if like Texas, we're still pretty open. I
like
mean,
California, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. Like I.
No, I can imagine.
If we were on full lockdown, it might.
Yeah.
It might.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but anyway,
I asked myself that question this week because I was like, dude, and I think it was a combination of that. It was the heat, and then like just the way life is right now. I was just like, man, this might be taking a mental toll on me, and my kids. I can tell it's taking a toll on them. You know
I'm
what
sure.
I'm saying? But
the
anyways,
older the kids are, I bet the more it affects them.
Yes. But anyways, outside from that, let's do this, Chuck.
Let's go. Let's roll with it.
Anything happened this weekend that you want to chat about?
Nothing crazy. Like no. Real quick though, I did have to make a run down the Houston area.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone that listens in Houston, not a big fan, but I had to go down there. Didn't go all the way, suburbs. My sister-in-law, I've referenced before. She went to Tech. She is going to medical school down there, and we had to go down there because she got her white jacket, so that was a big deal.
Hey, cheers to that.
So we rolled down to Houston, and
congrats,
had a good time. Yeah, cheers to her. Soon to be.
That's huge.
One day, Dr. Lauren. So.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
It was a big deal, and with Corona stuff, we didn't actually get to go to the ceremony or whatever. So we had a watch party in the hotel where we streamed it.
Oh, really?
And then afterwards, we went and took pictures and popped champagne with her. And
perhaps the new norm, Chuck. Perhaps the new norm.
Maybe, I don't know. It was done really well though, and it was fun, man. I like. We had a good time.
Yeah. And anytime you can get out of the house and take a trip,
and
right?
we did do a couple road trip stops on the way back that I'd never done before. So in Huntsville, there's Sam Houston's original grave is there, so we stopped by Sam Houston's grave, and then literally around the corner is in the middle of town is Death Row, Huntsville.
No way.
Lockdown craziness.
Wow.
And we did a drive around the block and took pictures. Check that, dude. I'm fascinated. Well, I was a criminal justice major.
That's true.
And I took classes and courses on it. I'm fascinated with it.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of Alcatraz. I went to San Francisco a few years ago and did the Alcatraz tour.
Yeah.
Because that prison down in Huntsville is old as shit, and it looks like it. But it looks like a place I want no part of.
Wow.
They had guard towers. I mean, obviously, you
can just sense it.
It's
it was not a good place to be.
It's death row for Texas. It's notorious in the United States.
Really? I didn't know that was down there.
Death row in Texas. But guard shacks, guard towers. There's even signs. There's a parking lot. We were trying to get closer picture. My wife was like, "Oh, pull in there, pull in there."
Is this still active? Active death row?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Death row. Yeah, that's where.
Okay.
If you're going to die in Texas, you're there.
No shit.
And anyway, there's a parking lot. My wife was like, "Oh, pull in there and pull pictures." And me and my sister-in-law were like, "Hell no!" There's a sign that says "Don't open your trunks. Don't make any sudden movements. Don't open your doors. Don't open your trunks till you're approached."
No way.
By a guard, because it's right outside the entryway. But it was gnarly.
Dang.
It was razor wire, the whole deal. But it's old school, window unit ACs and shit, and old brick. It's crazy. I took a bunch of historical marker pictures, but that's what I did.
Nuts.
We just rolled down there and rolled back, and it was a good little trip.
Yeah, I mean, that's educational because I didn't know that was down there. I didn't know that was a thing. That's interesting.
It's a thing. I doubt it, but my sick mind wants to take a tour now, so I want to see if they do Huntsville Death Row tours. I don't know if they will, but it definitely reminded me of Alcatraz.
What is that show with the kids?
Scared Straight.
Scared Straight. Mm-hmm. You might be into a Scared Straight type thing, just an hour and a half type thing.
Dude, there's
Scared Straight. See how long Chuck can last.
And my wife found a show that they took 6 civilians.
Yeah.
One's an ex-Marine, one's a school teacher, just various aspects.
Yeah.
And integrated them into prison. Only the warden and the sheriff,
really?
Chief or whatever.
Yeah.
And the head guard knew these people were civilians and took them through intake and the whole like none of the other guards, none of the inmates know who they are.
Yeah.
Like know that they're there.
Just going through the process.
Yeah. So it is gnarly.
Wow.
Like it is crazy.
Wow.
And we just started. We're like an episode or 2 in, but it's wild. I don't even know what it's called. 60 days in, because they're going to do
60 days in.
They're going to spend 60 days in the prison system.
Wow.
But no one knows except for like 3 people.
Yeah, they're not criminals, just civilians, just going through the process. Yep. Wow.
So
that's an experience.
But we found that too, just tie into it. But yeah, what about you, man?
Dude, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I grilled some burgers this weekend. That's pretty much it. And then my youngest learned how to ride a bike, so that was a huge accomplishment.
Nice. Oh yeah.
She picked it up real quick.
I saw it when I pulled up today. She was
she's
doing donuts in the driveway.
That's all she wants to do. She'll wake up early in the morning and she's like, all right, I want to go ride my bike. So, and she asked me to go buy her a helmet and pads and knee pads and all that, so I had to do that. But yeah, she's all about it right now, and she's doing good on training wheels. But yeah, I mean, that's it.
She was killing it when I pulled up.
Milestone,
Oh, yeah.
The last one. So
how old is she?
Trying to soak it in. She's 3.
Yep.
About to be 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She just hopped on and just went after it, dude. She had been telling me, she was like, hey, Dad, can you air up these tires so that I can ride this bike? And I've kind of been putting it off, and I was like, I don't think she can reach. Well, come to find out, and maybe it was me putting it off as well, she grew a little bit, but she can reach the pedals and go all the way around. So she's riding that bike like crazy.
There you go.
That happened.
Nice.
Huge. Last kid riding a bike. That's why it's huge, because I was like, oh, man, this is it. And she's really eating it up. Like, eating it up more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, soaking this in. I'm like, yeah, we'll go outside and ride the bike as long as you want. We'll ride the bike in 100-degree weather. And she's like, looks like she's about to pass out. And I keep telling her, I was like, hey, all right, let's go in, drink some water, get some fresh air, Because
we go on walks around our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And which means I walk, my wife walks, and we'll put the young one either in a stroller or like she has that car where you push it like with the handle.
Yeah.
We either push her in a little car, and then the oldest either rides her scooter or her bike.
Yeah.
And even now, dead of summer, she's like, Mama gets home, it's like, can we go for a walk? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Gotta be kidding.
Of course we can.
Yeah, right.
We're going once around the block.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So get it all out of your system.
Well, it's because they're trapped in the house too.
Yeah, they want to get out.
And that's why she's eating it up right now. Because she's not in the house. She's so bored in the house.
Well, and I talked about this. Like our house, we have a big backyard, so we're like backyard play people. We'll just go in the backyard. We sit on the patio, and the kids go wild. But we don't go in the front a lot. So like her opportunities to do the scooter or do the bike.
Yeah.
We have to make an effort to go. Right. I mean, I say an effort. Our immediate thought isn't to go in the front yard so she can ride a bike.
Right. Well, because the shade's in the back too, right?
The shade's in the back of our house. But like when I was a kid, like I played in the street in the front yard. That's where the place was to be. But like at our house, we have a big backyard and we have a play set and all kinds of stuff in the back that they just go back there, and we have so we don't ride and stuff as much as we should because we got to go out in the front yard. There's nothing to do for me or the baby like in the front yard.
Well, same for us. It's like our neighborhood's really old and there's no sidewalks, so it's like it's either right in the driveway or right out in the street.
Yep.
And we're not letting them ride out in the street, obviously. So it's like, man, they're limited to riding in the driveway or hanging out in the backyard or in the house.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. So
we got to where we'll let them play in the street, but it's like we take our folding chairs down to the curb and they can't go past the mailbox on our right, and they can't go past like 2 mailboxes the other way.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of traffic going through that road?
Not a lot. Yeah. We have some, but not a whole lot. But we're right in the middle of our road, so we got as long as we're paying attention, we got
you can catch
fair amount of warning.
Yeah,
and like all our neighbors are like old. Or older
same here.
Parents.
Same here.
So they get it, and they know us. Like, they don't know us, but, I mean, they know we're the ones with young kids.
Right.
So, because we walk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's cool, man. Last one.
That happened, last one.
We're gearing up for loss of training wheels. That's what.
Okay.
On the first one. So
she's starting on training wheels now, so we'll see.
Her cousin just popped the training wheels off a couple months ago.
Your oldest is getting ready to pop the training wheels off?
Yeah, so now she wants to pop hers off. And
yeah, dude.
We're not there yet.
Let her roll. Let her roll. You might be surprised. I was surprised. She picked it up so quick. I was like, what? Of course, she has training wheels, but I was like, man, she's cruising. All right.
There you go.
And then she started to scare me. I was like, all right, I'm going to go get you a bike helmet and some pads tomorrow because she's cutting turns real quick and, like, tipping the bike over. But, like, catching herself, you know, she's not really scared to fall, but, like, I'm scared because I'm like, you don't realize what you're about. You're about to bust your head. So
yep.
Let me go get you.
It's sketchy. And, of course, the one times they don't wear the pads when they fall.
Exactly.
That's what mine did.
Exactly.
So.
But anyways, yeah, that's all that's going on with me, man. Not much. Chilling. Kind of working on the podcast stuff. And
yeah, we're moving and grooving.
We're trying to get some stuff going and guests. We got guests coming.
They finally. Yes.
So we're back
gearing
at it.
up.
We got a new set. This is it.
We're gearing up.
This is the place to come, or we come to you. So we're getting ready to have.
We're not blowing smoke up people's asses. I promise.
No, yeah, we're gonna have some guests.
We got plans. We just takes a little time. We're like a mom and pop shop here. It takes a little longer than normal.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about.
So we're getting there. We're getting there.
But anyways,
what we don't need to gear up for.
What we don't want to do is let these beers get too cold or too warm.
Especially with the name of them, I really don't want to. And with
Chuck,
this weather, this hot stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and spill it out there. We got the Real Ale Skullberry Strawberry Milkshake IPA.
Boom.
That's a mouthful.
Nailed it. But doesn't that sound good? And we got to drink this before it gets too warm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so hot in Texas. But yeah, this is produced by. You brought this back from Houston, right?
I did. Yeah, I made a stop. I wasn't looking. We were just looking somewhere else, and we went to what was it, Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
And I
it's browsed, a good spot.
And yeah, I brought this one back. I've seen it up here, so it's not like it's Houston only.
Harry carries it over at A&B, where we always get our craft beer.
Yeah.
That's probably where you saw it.
I think so. And I was like, you know what? I'll grab it. I grabbed another one. We'll feature on another episode. But got clicker happy. But yeah, so strawberry milkshake IPA. Strawberry milkshake got me, and I honestly had it in my cart, and I picked it up at the register.
Was it?
Son of a bitch! It says IPA on it.
Was it strawberry that got you or milkshake that got you?
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
Yes. Both.
Yeah. I like a
You're a strawberry milkshake guy?
I am a strawberry milkshake guy.
Yeah. And then IPA at the end of it?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
But it was enough for you to try it, right?
Yeah. And then finally I was like, you know what? We got to appease Cody.
I hear you.
Now and again.
Hey,
so this one's...
I've been eyeing it. I just haven't picked it up.
This beer's for you, sir.
I haven't been picking it up.
Actually, the other one I picked up is a double IPA, so double down on Cody.
Okay.
Cody love. So
well, here's a few stats.
Mm-hmm.
It's 6.2% ABV, 20 IBU, so not that bitter. And I wouldn't expect that it would be since it's a strawberry milkshake.
I'll
IPA.
be the judge of that.
You will be the judge of that for sure. But right now it's got a. I'm not going to tell you the rating. on Untapped.
Right. I'm just ready.
But Real Ale is out of Blanco, Texas. They've been around for quite a bit. I haven't done a whole lot of research on them, but I know for a fact that Real Ale's been around for a bit because they're at all the convenience stores in Texas. They're at all the craft beer stores. So they've got some good brews, and this is just another one of those experimental beers that they do over at Real Ale Brewery in Blanco, Texas.
And I think I did see that this is like a seasonal, so it's like a summer deal.
Yeah. 6.2%.
Let's crack it.
Skullberry, strawberry IPA, or strawberry milkshake IPA.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
I need a drink.
Let's do it.
You ready?
I'm not ready yet. Now I'm ready. Boom.
Smells hoppy. I'm just saying. I was expecting a strawberry milkshake kind of smell.
It's an IPA.
I know. Here we go. Bottoms up.
I know. Here we go. You might be surprised, Chuck. Okay. My immediate thoughts.
Where's the strawberry fucking milkshake?
Well, time out. The strawberry milkshake disguises this IPA as a hazy IPA. It tastes like a hazy IPA.
No, it
to
doesn't.
me. It doesn't?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
This is a hazy IPA.
No, it's not. Not that I'm experienced, but the few hazy IPAs we've had before,
No?
I really enjoyed. Not really enjoying
bitterness,
this one.
The bitterness is not that bad. Is it bad on your end?
It's not bad, but I mean, like,
you're not. You can't take. You want to taste the strawberry.
I will.
Right.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate.
Like, okay, three things on the bottom: strawberry milkshake, IPA, and like it's IPA. Like, if I drink this, like if someone handed this to me blind,
Yeah.
and I guess what this is,
Yeah.
I would just say it's an IPA. I don't know the other part of it. Like, I'm not getting very much strawberry milkshake action over here.
The milkshake is what I'm referencing is in regards to like hazy. Because it's
Well,
kind
we've
of got
had
that,
a hazy before, and I liked it. I even said, this is awesome. I'll drink all the... Because it's like... Isn't hazy like New England style?
It's a style, yes. Yeah, it's a style of
Yeah, this
IPA.
ain't it. This ain't it.
There's not a strong...
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not an IPA so bad that I'm not going to finish drinking it.
Yeah.
I just burped a little. Maybe that's where the strawberry milkshake comes in, because I did feel the strawberry come back up on the second round. But anyway, it's not my jam. I'll finish it.
Yeah,
but I'm
not picking up either. It might be like a really slight hint of strawberry.
Now,
that's it.
if you're used to IPAs like you are, you can filter out the IPA-ness of it and pick up on the other flavor.
Yeah.
I can't. It just hits me with the IPA. And it's not strong. It's not super strong.
The bitterness isn't strong. It's 20
but it's
IBU.
there. Like, I take a swig and immediately I know exactly I'm in IPA land, and that's a place I don't like to be.
I hear you. What's your rating? Real talk.
Another swig.
One drink. Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's an IPA. I don't care for it. I won't get it again. Yeah. I'll give it like a 4.4.
I think that's fair.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Just clarify for the people.
I think that's fair. The untapped rating is 3.6 out of 5. So that would average around, what, 7-ish?
Yeah, I guess.
6, 7, maybe. I'm not a huge fan either, Chuck. Honestly, I think they did more work on the packaging than they did on the beer. Mm-hmm. So...
No, the logo
packaging, marketing, all that plays into, like, it's eye candy. So you picked it up because it looked appealing. Yeah. And, I'm with you. I don't pick up the strong strawberry aroma or taste. But it's good.
I'm out.
It's a hazy IPA.
I'll finish it just
as far as I'm concerned.
That's how I do things, but...
All right.
But maybe you can. Let's change course. Let's change direction.
Good little pickup on your way back from Houston.
Yeah. Well, I need you to pick me up off this IPA and give me some good music to listen to. So what we rocking with
this week? We have Charlie Crockett. I don't think we've featured him before. Let me turn him on real quick.
Yeah,
he has a new album out. Welcome to Hard Times, Chuck. And I think that speaks volumes. It's hard times right now. Charlie Crockett, ladies and gentlemen. Check him out. He's got a new album. Welcome to Hard Times. Just released in 2020. He's got a few others that are really great. Night Train in Memphis is a really good song. But check him out. He grew up in like South Texas.
Okay.
With his mother. They moved to New Orleans and then to Dallas, and then he went back and forth between New Orleans and Dallas and kind of just picked up that sound, the jazzy, bluesy sound. But also like the Texas like roots.
No, I like
you
this.
know, and it's almost old school. You won't be disappointed. Go listen to Charlie Crockett.
I'm feeling it. This sounds old school to me.
Very
for
chill.
Real.
I almost see like Charlie Crockett's music in the background of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, right?
Well, it reminds me immediately it reminds me of like a Ray Charles type sound.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
him and Leon Bridges are I feel like similar as well.
That makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
Both from Texas, same area. But yeah, check out Charlie Crockett.
Digging it.
It's good stuff.
Bluesy,
jazzy, New Orleans vibe plus Texas.
Well, this might return next week, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with it. And if you say you don't like this band, I think I've said it before. I know I've said it off the podcast because I stand by it. You're full of shit, and you're just saying it because you're a hater.
What band are you talking about, Chuck?
Look at this photograph.
Oh my gosh.
Nickelback, man.
Nickelback. Oh my God.
Nickelback.
Please tell me. Chuck has been keeping this from me, FYI, like he always does. He always keeps one thing from me every episode.
No,
he's like, dude, I'm just going to
So, as I said, it might return next week. Nickelback teased something.
No, they didn't.
This week for Friday. Now, there's rumors that they've been working on a documentary, and there's rumor it could be an album. So, it might be a documentary, might be an album. Might be both.
I'm concerned.
Why do you not like Nickelback?
I'm not gonna lie. We all used to listen to Nickelback.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They were great in the '90s.
Okay. At what point did the hate start with Nickelback? Because if I think they've made one. I know of one CD since that Photograph album. You know, the one with that song on it.
I think that they just captured like a very strong genre in the late 90s, early 2000s. Because this was high school.
People think they
for
sold
you and
out.
Is
what the gist I've
They
got in the
probably
past.
did. I mean,
I would.
With that, it was, yeah, they're sellouts. So.
But dude,
who doesn't do that?
Okay, whatever that album's called with the picture with the photograph song on it.
Yeah.
That album hits top to bottom.
It does.
And everybody wore the shit out of it, and then like 2 years later everyone was like, "Oh, fuck Nickelback." What? Bullshit. Yeah. You rocked that album, and if you didn't or you say you didn't, you're a liar because everyone knows most of the words to almost every song on that album.
Yeah, Chuck, so you're talking about...
And they're a meme also.
You're talking about All the Right Reasons.
Yes.
That album.
Yeah.
2005 release.
I know I wore that CD out.
2005 release. So that was right after we graduated.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was this one song. I think it was No, it wasn't Nickelback. That was another band. I'm sorry. We listened to Nickelback in high school. Hardcore.
Yeah.
And you're right. I don't know where it took a turn, but it had to have been like late 2000s, early 2000s, before people started like picking up on the fact that like it was a really, I don't know, they just have like a really strong genre sound, and people pick on them for whatever reason.
I don't know why.
Nickelback is great. They were great back in the day. I don't know so much.
Now, their album
after
All the Right Reasons, not so good.
You could say the same for Creed, though. Dude, I was
huge... Now, Creed gets a lot of hate.
Huge Creed fan.
A lot more hate than Nickelback.
Creed was one of the first albums I ever had.
Those first two Creed albums hit hard, too.
So hard. You can't deny that shit.
You know what? I was listening to something, and I'm going to sprinkle this in because it reminded me of it. I think the song Raw is the band.
Yeah.
They did that song, our soccer song.
R.A.
Yeah, R.A.
Yeah.
They
our warm-up song.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I heard that the other day, and I went and looked and listened to the first time in probably, 12, 13 years?
Yeah.
Longer than that?
Yeah.
P.O.D.
Yes. POD.
I went and listened to POD.
Another. Oh, there's so many. We could go down a rabbit hole with that.
But that one's particular. I went back and listened to POD.
And Raw. Dude.
Yeah.
Raw, every now and then I'll go back and listen to that song. Just that one song.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
But POD, man.
Clap. I got to pee.
Damn it. Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, dude, I went back and listened to it. It was great.
It's good stuff.
But
Nickelback. So you think Nickelback's coming out with a new album or documentary or some shit?
I don't think. I mean, it teased something's releasing Friday.
Really?
And Friday is new music release day.
Ooh, it is.
But I also read in like the comments and stuff that they've been working on a documentary too. So don't know which one it could be.
Interesting.
But so that's what I said. It might sneak back next week because if they drop a new album, I will be talking about it. If nothing else, just to spite everyone who says, air quotes, they hate Nickelback.
Oh, man.
So, Petty Chuck, it might come out to play next week.
I've got so many stories in regards to Nickelback.
Save them for next time because I got a story for you.
I will. All right.
And it's Corona related.
It's Corona related?
It is.
No shit.
And
all right.
it's just so we had to masturbate.
The masturbate.
We had to masturbate last week.
Had to.
And a study just came out.
Yeah.
And I bring this up because you love wearing the bandanas.
Yeah.
And we talked about wearing the gaiters.
Yeah.
The bandana
Gators and bandaners, yeah.
The
gators and bandaners is what I just said.
The studies show that those might actually be worse than wearing no mask at all.
I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that.
They did I guess they tested
Is it because they're breathable?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they did like a study, and the study was like they put them in a room, used like laser and lights and shit to gauge the droplets coming out of the various masks.
Yeah.
And what they found is it's worse than no mask because they measured like the droplets. So like if you had no mask, your droplets come out.
Right.
The gators and like the thin bandanas, they do not block the droplets from coming out. And in addition to that, they separate the droplets because it's so breathable.
Yeah.
The droplets get through, but not as one big droplet. They like shotgun spread the droplets.
In the material.
No, through the material.
Through the material?
Yeah, yes, that's why I was saying it.
But is this like you're like talking or like you sneeze really hard?
Anything where droplet. Yeah, they did it where they were like talking.
Because I don't typically spit when I talk.
You don't think you do.
I don't feel like I do.
You're right. But you do.
I do. I'm sure.
That's why everyone says wear their mask.
I know. It's the masturbate.
But that's what happens is those droplets, like it may come out. Let's say for reference, it comes out as like a golf ball size with no mask.
Right.
And
really.
And if you wear a gator or a thin bandana, it's coming out same amount as a golf ball.
Yeah.
But it's coming out as like a bunch of marbles. So it's like
really
shotgun spread shot.
What? Why is that the case versus a mask though?
Because the mask, the cloth mask, the doctor's mask
is the material.
There's
the
more
way
layers
it's fabricated.
And more. It's because it's
more
breathable.
Intertwined. Okay.
It's because it's more breathable fabric.
Okay.
So
interesting. So my bandana is like double layered. Does that help? Because I assume they're talking about bandanas as like a single layer.
Does it help you sleep better at night?
Does it help me sleep better at night?
Yeah.
My bandana.
Like, do you sleep better at night knowing you wear a bandana out in public?
Yeah, I haven't contracted COVID yet.
I would say that it helps.
The great mask debate.
But does it help your spread or non-spread of corona?
What do
I don't know.
Wear?
But
what do you wear, Chuck?
It helps you sleep at night. So
what do you wear?
I wear the.
Do you want to know? Go ahead.
I wear the mask with the like straps with like the cloth where you can put a filter in it.
Okay. The reason I wear a bandana is because of my beard. Because if I put a mask on, I have the whole underside of my beard just like sticking out. I'm trying not to get anything in my beard, so I'm wearing a bandana. It covers it all.
But that kind of defeats it because
I hear
we talked about it going out. So if it's just living in your beard and on your mouth, I mean,
I'm screwed. But yet I haven't contracted COVID yet.
That's true. We haven't.
It's great masturbate.
The great masturbate. So following up on last week's episode, I saw that report and I was like, I'm going to tell Bandana Boy that it doesn't work much, but it helps you sleep at night, so therefore it does help you.
I'm protected as far as I'm concerned. It's doubled up. You ready?
No.
You ready to move on?
I flipped up. Before we move any further, let's do let's talk
pay
shop
some
for
bills.
a second. Yeah, let's play some bills. We got the July winner. You want to take it from there?
We do have the July winner.
We didn't. We're behind. We took July off, but we didn't forget about our patrons at patreon.com. Search Modern Dude Chat.
Please go subscribe, contribute, support us. It means so much to us. It helps us grow this podcast. It helps us do things like build this set, for instance, that we've always envisioned, and to produce better quality content. I mean, that's what anytime Chuck and I come in here and we're like, all right, dude, what can we do to up the ante? Like, what can we do to produce even more quality content?
It's almost midnight, and we're about halfway through this episode. Hopefully, more than halfway.
Yeah.
But I've been here since 8:00.
Yeah.
So we've talked shop.
Yeah. This is always like meeting, then
3.5 hours prior to recording. So,
Chuck, I'll tell you this: that's healthy. So. The fact that we're talking about it and we're putting like line items.
Yeah. We don't just come in here and hit record and let it fly.
No.
Although it does seem that way. Sometimes we do that, but not often.
That sometimes.
But we patreon.com, become a patron. Any tier gets you into monthly giveaways. Yeah. We're still pushing that. This is July's giveaway.
Yes.
The winner
is Brad P.
Brad P.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's he getting, though?
Brad is getting this fancy little... Sorry, I got to maneuver around this mic. All right, Field Notes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Field Notes. I'm a huge fan. It's great for, like, in the field note-taking right off the bat.
Wow.
Field Notes. Isn't that great?
Very good description.
Right?
Wow.
Anyways, or if you're a designer, if you're a graphic designer, if you're a person that likes jotting down things with a pen, like Chuck. Chuck loves a good notebook and a pen. This is right up your alley. This is a nice little set of 3 campfire Field Notes edition. There's 3 little notebooks here. It's got 48-page in each notebook. And each one shows you like the beginning of a campfire.
Nice.
The wood. You set up the wood. It's lit. And then the morning after. Ashes. Which is my favorite part. When you walk out the morning after on a campfire and you can still smell the night before.
My favorite part is when you piss on the fire before you go to bed.
Nice. But you can still smell it the next morning.
Yeah.
Not so much the piss, though.
Nothing like good old burnt piss.
And this thing comes with a nice little fancy patch.
Man, Brad P's getting
which says the Campfire Master Field Notes. This is a dope little giveaway. Brad, enjoy. It's headed your way soon. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter. Thank you for being an MDC listener. We can't thank you enough. That's why we're handing out gifts like this, because we want it to mean something. We want you guys to hang with us. We know it's tough at times.
Yep.
But, hey, it's all a work in progress, and we're trying to do
as we get bigger and better, we will not forget the people who
rode
with us.
And that's why we're happy to support you guys.
And especially patrons that jump in and support us monthly.
Yeah.
No problem. Getting our hands on some cool stuff and trying to give you a little something extra.
Brad P. Field Notes, Campfire set of 3 48-page memo books headed your way, buddy, with a patch.
So
thank you for being a supporter.
Thank you. Patreon.com. Become a patron. Modern Dude Chat. Just search it in Patreon. Come right up.
Hell yeah.
But all right, let's get into let's get into the the nuts and bolts, so to speak. How do you want to kick this one off? No, before we start.
Okay.
Mama Teresa, which I saw her yesterday.
Did you?
She's at Megan's house, and my stepbrother lives next door to Megan. So
like right next door, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I waved. They were outside. It was all good. She didn't recognize me. Megan did. And Megan hollered, and I was like, hey, and then your mom, like, kind of. You know. Anyway, earmuffs for. My mom doesn't listen, but if my stepdad's trying to make her listen right now, we're about to talk about our equipment, our lower end equipment. And so, you've been warmed and prepared.
Our baby makers.
Used to be baby makers.
Used to be, yeah.
And, let's do it, man.
Chuck,
let's talk about a man. This is a man's topic right here. If there ever was one.
This is a man's topic. So, you're right. I don't know where to start with this. I'll start with this. I'll try to start with this. I have 4 children. I don't want any more children. So this always comes up in a marriage, I feel like, or even if you're not married, it might come up if you're like a single dude and you're like, dude, I'm tired of being like scared of getting someone pregnant, perhaps.
Yeah.
I guess you could also do this, if you never want kids. Anyways, what we're talking about is getting fixed, getting your nuts clipped, vasectomy, whatever you want to call it. Chuck and I both have been down this road already because we're married men. We have kids. We've decided we don't want any more kids.
Very much so decided. We do not want any more kids. We love our kids.
We love them to death.
Don't want any more.
Like I said, I'm cherishing the fact that my youngest daughter is riding a bike this week, and that's the last one, and I've accepted that. She will be the last one. I will not have any more kids.
So let's talk. Let's get into.
But there's odds. There's odds to that too. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't.
But
I have vivid memories, but it's not of the odds.
So, do you want to? What we're gonna do is talk about the process, right?
Yeah.
Because there's probably guys out there that are.
Let's talk about it.
Listeners that are.
I want to tell people what you didn't tell me. That's what I want to talk about.
I want to talk about that too because I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm gonna let Cody go first because he did it first, and then I will follow with. I'll let you tell your experience, and I'll follow my experience.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, in a shell of nuts, in a sack of nuts. We decided as a family. All right, we're done. We're not going to have any more kids. And it's easier for the male to go through this process versus the female, right? Because the female process is you go and you get your tubes tied, right? Mm-hmm. Which when you hear that, you're like, that sounds excruciating, or that sounds uncomfortable, or that sounds like a way heavier process than like a dude going and getting a couple of cords cut and he's done. And
I don't know. I'm not trying to get too much in your business.
No, yeah.
But like, usually, from my understanding, is if you want your tubes tied, they'll do it. If you have a C-section, they'll tie it right in while they're in there.
Yes.
We didn't go that route.
Which is what happened.
Okay.
And we didn't go that route.
Yeah.
We decided I will go and get fixed so that we don't have any more babies. I'm apparently fertile, obviously with 4 kids. So
very much so.
That's why we decided, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go through this process. So, anyways, having to look that up was the
weirdest
part. You know when people are like, hey, you have to the first thing you have to do is admit you have a problem. Not that I have a problem, but
hi, my name's Cody Murphy, and I have 4 kids. Make it stop.
Exactly, my train of thought. Exactly. So, but looking that up is like it's weird. Like I remember Googling it. I was just like, man, vasectomy in Dallas, Texas, and I found the top guy. Right, top guy. He does vasectomies. That's all he does. Blah blah blah. I was like, all right, I'll book him, call him, set up an appointment. The process was really easy. You pay money up front. You set an appointment. You go in. It's very it's very easy to go through the process. It's not complicated.
No.
But once you get there, you do have it's almost like almost like a surgery. It is a surgery. But a very
don't put you to sleep.
But a very
you're very much aware of what's going on.
You're very much aware, and it's a very loose
very loose situation.
It's a very loose. It's not. I'm not gonna say not controlled. It is controlled, but like you're in and out of there, right? They tell you like, hey, you can come in, have the operation, and then you go home the same day, and you're over it within the next like day, maybe 2 days.
Supposed to be.
Most people go back to work the next day or the next, or the day after that, right?
For most people.
For most people. So I go through this process, right? I show up. My wife drives me to the vasectomy doctor. I walk in. We go through the process. I sign all the paperwork. I fill it out. They take me back. I strip my clothes down. I put a robe on.
Did she go with you?
No, she did not.
Okay.
She stayed out in the waiting room.
Mine didn't either. I was
okay.
Wondering.
No, she was hanging out. So I go through the process. I put the robe on with nothing else underneath. I lay down on this operational bed with this single light, almost like a dentist's office, you know? You have that single...
Your shit is on spotlight. Your time to shine.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Chuck mentioned, they don't put you to sleep. So from what I can remember, I vividly remember him saying, all right, the operation is about to start. I'm going to numb this area. You might feel this, you might feel that, blah, 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 blah. It'll be over in a certain amount of time. Titter tatter, we're done, right?
Yep.
Okay, so...
That's what they tell you.
We get into the nitty-gritty of the process, right? The actual operation. And Chuck, I felt him snip each cord.
Yep.
Felt it. Like
the numbing didn't work, or like you knew what he was doing?
I knew what he was doing.
Okay.
The numbing didn't work either, though. Like, not
boy.
fully, right?
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Not like when he snipped it, I was like...
Like, you didn't know what was going on. But it was like...
It was numb.
You could tell he was doing something.
Yes.
But it wasn't, like, excruciating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was numb. But you could still feel movement, right? Which is typical and standard for, like, even for, like, a C-section. When you're having a baby, you can still feel, like, the movement, but you can't feel the pain because there's a lot of pain there, right? There's a lot of pain when somebody's digging up in your nutsack.
My nuts hurt just talking about this, gearing up for my part.
There's a lot of pain going on or involved with somebody digging around in your nutsack and looking for the two cords to cut. Anyways, that happened.
Red wire, blue wire. Which one did we cut?
Cut them all. No chance. But anyways, after the fact, Chuck, I mean, it was kind of miserable. For an entire day, I was miserable. I had the whole situation going on, like the ice on the nutsack, yeah. And I was laid up in bed, and I was just like, milking it for sure. And
the wives don't understand that your nuts legit hurt after this.
It felt like I got kicked in the nuts. To just give you an idea. And guys, I'm not saying don't go get your nuts clipped because it really is a simple process. For you to be out for an entire day, maybe a day and a half, 2 days max, versus having more kids and having to deal with that and the expense. And I'm not saying that
short-term pain is worth the long-term gain.
Long-term gain. Boom. Chuck just said it perfectly, and it even rhymed.
That's what I do. Bars!
But, dude, I could totally feel it when he was doing it. And then after the fact, it felt like you got kicked in the nuts, right? Hard. Real hard. Like you got in a fight the night before and you got squared off, kicked in the nuts perfectly, and you're down and out, blah, 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 blah.
Perfect nut shot.
And I will say, after the fact, years later, I'm going to go as far as to say this.
Go for it. I'm about to go all out.
In the nutsack, you can still feel the little severed ends where he cut it, and you can feel the bulkier end of that cord.
The frayed end of your cord.
The frayed, the burnt, frayed end of your cord. You can feel that in your nutsack. Can you not feel it?
Like when you burn the end of a rope.
Yes. Can you not feel that?
Correct.
You can feel that in your nutsack, and it's 4 times because there's snip, and then he burns the ends of, like a rope, like Chuck said, the cord, so it feels like a frayed, clumped up, hard, freaking sensitive thing in your nutsack, and it's different. It's not normal. Obviously, it's not normal, but it's something that we have to deal with. Aside from that, it's not that bad. It was pretty seamless, which is why we chose, for me to do it versus her, blah, 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 So, I mean, in the end, you're losing a couple of days of pain, feeling like you got straight kicked in the nuts, but you also, you don't have to worry about having kids again. For the most part, there's a percentage of, this is the funny part. And I know you're going to go off and you're going to mention this, but they mention you have to ejaculate a certain amount of times after the process to verify that you do not know, you no longer have
different kind of masturbate.
Active semen in your, or sperm in your semen.
You got to flush the system.
You got to flush the system. So they're like, hey, you need to be active. So we need you to make sure when you come in the next time that you have
Cody said, "Don't you worry, I ain't
you
active.
have ejaculated this many times to make sure that we can test you properly." So, anyways, it's a very almost uncomfortable process, but
okay, I'm ready to interject now.
Yeah, please go.
Cody,
that was it. That was it for me.
Cody sugarcoated the shit out of that process. Okay, so now I'm going to give you my spin on it.
Which, keep in mind, Chuck, tell the story prior to. Or is that what you were going to do?
What do you mean, asking you?
Hey, I know you got a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Where do I go?
I texted Cody, and I said, hey, serious question. No, you got your nuts chopped on.
Yeah.
Who'd you go to and how was it? And he said, oh, I used this guy. It was fine. It's like, okay, cool.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm going to do it. So I went to the same doctor, same procedure, same everything. Kind of same everything. Same setup. Show up, wife takes me, and go back in the back. Wife doesn't go with me.
Yeah.
And, same thing. Go through the motions. And then it's time to lay up on the table. Now, I'm a hot-natured person. I sweat easily. I also get the nervous sweats a lot.
Yeah.
And so I laid down on the table, laid back.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yep.
But before they start anything, another person comes in, and I don't know about you, but they gave my junk area a nice little wash-down sponge bath, which I thought was awesome. Not awesome enough to display myself, but I thought it was awesome that I got a free sponge bath. Well, not free, but I wasn't prepared for the soothing nature of how they take care of you beforehand.
I totally forgot about that.
And I thought that was awesome. Man. And then, of course, the doctor walks in and junk hanging out, and he said, "I'm about to numb you. You might feel a little." Thing. And I said, all right.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, okay, what are we talking about? He says, it's going to feel like a rubber band pop.
Yes. Okay.
And I was like, okay.
It does.
I can take that. So he does whatever, the spray or whatever, pow! Rubber band pop on your nuts.
First cord cut.
Immediately I start sweating. Immediately, what I did not know was that in my mind, I get one of those, numbs the whole area. Wrong. You get 4 of those. And after 4 of them, I was sweating bullets and freaking the fuck out. I'm just laying there on this table,
Yeah.
sweating, while this dude's all up in my
Some
nutsack.
dude's jacking up your nuts.
And
Yeah.
Same with you. I could feel it. I could, and especially details. On the right side, I felt it a lot. And then he got done, and I told my wife, I was like, that was one of the worst experiences I've ever done in my life.
Same.
And
when I say milk it, I milked it like that.
This is embarrassing. I told my wife, I haven't told anyone but my wife this. When I so the doctors left, and it's time to get dressed.
Yeah.
I rolled off that table, and you would have thought I just got out of the damn swimming pool. I was sweating and freaking out so much, just sweat pulled up on the on the bed. And I walked out, and I checked out.
Wait, time out. Did they give you a Capri Sun?
No! You got a Capri Sun out the deal? You know what? Maybe they did. I don't remember.
They did. They asked me, "Hey, would you like a drink?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." And they brought me a fucking Capri Sun, which I thought was great. I was
probably
like, wow.
honestly said no because I was trying to gather. Because I went out. I said, "Do I have to check out another?" They said, "No, you're good." I told Rebecca, I was like, "We gotta go. We gotta get out of here." And we got a car. I said, "I just left a pool of sweat up on that table because I started freaking out. As soon as that first rubber band popped on my nuts, I was out. I was done.
Dude.
Get me out of here."
It was tough.
But yeah, everything else you said after the fact was correct.
Yeah.
My nuts hurt for a week.
Did they really?
Yes.
Wow.
Especially where I said I could feel the right one. The right one didn't feel right.
Dang.
My right side, like a week and a half later.
Were you like flinching on the table or anything?
No, not that I
Not that
recall.
you know? Yeah.
I tried not to. I wanted to.
I think you did some slight movement, and he
But
was like,
it wasn't the whole thing. My right side.
Yeah.
For like a week and a half, 2 weeks, like I almost got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna call him back and say, my right nut is not your biggest fan right now.
Not okay.
Yeah, this is not right. And finally it went away. But even now, like talking about it, my little right nut just goes ding, 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 ding. Like it's like, I know you're talking about me. Like I can feel that pain coming back. Like it sucked. Am I glad I did it? Yes, because I don't want any more kids. In fact, I had to get talked into my second kid. So, well, because when we had our first one, she's about she's about, man, one and a half ish.
Yeah.
Just coming in that cool phase where she kind of does stuff herself.
Right.
Really fun. And I was cool with it. And then we, I had a discussion back and forth, had another one.
Yeah.
And then after that, even like I was just like, nope. It wasn't 6 months after that. I said, nope, no more newborn stage. I'm done.
Yeah. It's a tough stage.
And that's when I jumped into it. And because we made our deductible, so I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and then I text Cody, and immediately was like, you son of a bitch. You left out very key details. And then what he's doing now, he laughed. He said, yeah, I did. What a jerk.
Hey, I mean, the ultimate goal, though, is the fact that you're not supposed to have any more kids. So, I mean, like you said, the newborn stage, that's rough. That's the toughest stage, man. And then, everything that goes with that, like a newborn baby, yeah, they grow up to be great kids and you love them to death, but like, man, it's a hard thing, and you invest so much money in all those kids too.
But at the end of the day, I would if you don't want to have kids,
obviously.
I would say do it.
Yeah,
it sucks. It sucks.
But if you're set on a number, if you're like, hey, we're gonna have 2 kids.
Well, everyone was like, the discussion we had, and with other people was like, well, because I have 2 girls. They're like, oh, you don't want to try for a boy? Mm-hmm. I'm like, if someone could guarantee me 100% I'd have a boy, I might have another one. The chances and risk of having 3 girls is not one I'm willing to take.
Which is the boat I'm in.
Yeah.
3 girls.
But at least you got your boy first.
I got my boy first, but yeah, 3 girls.
I want no part of 3 girls. Even if there's a slight chance of 3 girls, I want no part of it.
It's a challenge, dude.
I'm good. I'm set. I'm happy. I'm content.
Yeah.
My junk's clipped. I got frayed wires.
But the process overall, like, it's not that bad. It's like getting a swift kick in the nuts. ultimately, like pain level, that's what it feels like.
That lasts
right?
for 2 weeks.
For me. Mine lasted for maybe a week.
Okay. Most people, because another guy actually, a few months later, another one of our friends, same thing. Who'd you go to? He went to the same guy.
Did he really?
And
Who?
no problems. Chase.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went.
No shit.
And so,
That's
same guy,
hilarious.
same thing.
That's hilarious.
And
same
he
guy?
had no problems. And he even thought, when I told him about my experience,
yeah.
dude, that never happened. That's BS. I was like, whatever. So, I mean.
Hey, ask him if he got a Capri Sun next time you see him.
But that rubber band pop spray numbness is real. And
it's real.
And there's 4 of them. Count
and you
them.
feel it.
It happens.
All the way.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's
Dude. It's a process.
It is a process.
It's a very minute process, but it'll put you down for a good few days, for sure. Good swift kick to the nuts. It reminds me of Jackass, when they used to like just kick each other in the nuts nonstop.
When
just
they
like, man,
used to like drop bowling balls and shoot billiards.
Crazy shit like that. Yeah,
that's what
it feels like. If you can manage that for a couple of days, you're good.
So speaking of a swift kick in the nuts,
I'm
gonna change gears on you
real
quick. We talked about getting excited because of Cody's piss breaks.
Sorry.
All right. Speaking of a swift kick in the nuts.
Swift kick in the nuts, man.
We talked about before about waking up and like sports coming back.
Yeah.
Well, the parts of the NCAA wait until the last minute, like a month before season starts, and the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 have decided to cancel the seasons, and they're going to try to attempt it in the spring.
Officially as of today, right?
As of
Which
today
is Tuesday 11th?
Yep.
Right.
So as of today, Big Ten, Pac-12, which are, so there's what's called the Power 5 conferences.
Yeah.
Which is Big Ten, Pac-12, Big 12.
Yeah.
I believe the ACC and the SEC.
Yes.
Those are the Power 5. They pretty much run college football.
Yeah.
2 of the 5 have said they're out.
Wow.
SEC and ACC have said they're going to continue, and I think the Big 12 is still up in there.
Big 10 is out.
Big 10 is out. Pac-12 is out. So, like, for reference, Big 10, the big names in the Big 10 are Ohio State, Michigan,
Alabama.
No.
Is Alabama in the Pac?
They're in the SEC.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, SEC is Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
So Big 10 is Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State.
Yeah.
You got, I think, Nebraska's in there, Wisconsin, those type of teams.
Okay.
Pac-12, for reference, is Oregon. It's the Pacific.
Right.
Pacific.
California.
Something. Yeah, so it's Cal.
Yep.
Oregon.
Yep.
Oregon State, Washington State,
right.
USC.
Yeah.
So some big-time college football programs are involved in this decision. They're going to bounce and forego and reattempt. They're going to, if they play games, they're going to play within conference in the spring.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a big college football fan, but I think that sucks.
Well, do you think that coincides with like the actual school too, though? Because a lot of those guys are there on scholarships.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to school, they're not meeting their scholarship, right? Whereas they probably shouldn't be out there playing football. Well, and not going to school, right? It's not the NFL.
If it wasn't the NCAA, I would say that makes sense. Yeah. But what I think it comes down to is the money.
Well, yeah.
These
universities are losing right now.
Well,
big time. Not just because of football, but like in general, the universities are losing. The
athletes don't get paid to play.
Yeah. Right.
But the universities and the coaches do.
Right.
So, are they canceling because they can't fill the stadiums and get paid?
Absolutely.
Or are they canceling for, air quote, player safety.
They're canceling because
they should be playing.
They're not going to get paid.
Just even if it was like a intramural.
Yeah.
Roll the kids out there on a football field and let them play because they're student athletes. Money shouldn't be a factor, but they're canceling because they're not going to be able to pack stadiums
and pay make money. Employees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, it's a crock of shit.
No, that's
NCAA
obvious.
Is crooked,
and that's why a couple of big time college athletes have spoken out. Speaking of Trevor Clemson, what's his last
Lawrence.
Name? He spoke out very vocal about it, very disappointed, in the fact that they're canceling the season.
Well, they're still in the air. He's just pushing to not cancel.
Right.
So SEC hasn't canceled yet.
But you'd imagine that they would.
But after this announcement, SEC and ACC came out and said they're moving forward and they got plans to do the season.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
they haven't canceled yet. Only these two.
Okay. So this is developing as we speak.
Yeah. No, it's just when 2 out of the 5 make a move,
and a few of the
denominator is that
everybody else.
The common thought is everyone else follows suit, but looks like there's a bit of a division. But you also got to take into account that the Big 12, SEC, and the ACC are comprised of mostly Southern schools.
Yeah,
which.
The states are opened up and laxed.
Not like it.
Yeah.
The rules aren't as strict as up north.
Right.
For whatever reasons.
Right.
So they're not likely to cancel their seasons.
Correct.
But as far as national champion, bowl games.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
How does that change?
I don't know.
What does that do?
Well, and they're talking about.
Does that open the door for these smaller universities or these universities that typically don't make it to the championship? They now have an opportunity.
Maybe.
You're right.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
That would be the thing, though, right?
But even like me being a fan of the NFL, what has me spinning is if they're gonna try to complete a season in the spring.
Yeah.
That's when the NFL draft is. That's when the NFL combine is. That's when any draft potential players are getting ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
Because the season ends pretty much the first week in January for college football, typically.
Yeah.
Draft is in April, so you got college players starts gearing up
that
for the
window
draft.
of recruiting. Yeah,
they could very well be playing football. So are the big names going to be playing, or are they going to be opting out to get ready for the NFL without playing football?
So what do you think, like Trevor Lawrence, if they decided to opt out of the season and he's not playing, do you think he'll go to the draft? Obviously, he'll go to the draft. Does he have that option?
You know what? I think it would depend on what the COVID outlook looks like come spring.
Yeah.
Like if it looked like college football would be back to normal next year, I think Trevor Lawrence would stay
in college and play another year.
But if it
is he a sophomore or junior or what? Or do you know?
This is his first eligible year. So to get drafted in the NFL, you have to be 2 years removed from your high school graduating class.
Yeah. Sophomore, essentially.
So after this season, he will be draft eligible. But I'm saying, if there's any question as to if the college football will be back to normal or not, everyone and anyone who's going to bounce from college football, if they meet the eligibility.
My immediate this might be shitty, but my immediate thought when I saw that Trevor Lawrence quote and him speaking on it was like, is he just trying to like build tape? Is he trying to just get like more games on tape so he can get drafted?
Well, I mean, like all these players, they're losing their year before the NFL of development, tape, all that. So
all your
their
games.
future's getting jeopardized.
Absolutely.
Whereas the Big 12 or the Big 10 and the Pac-12, we don't want to lose money.
Right.
So we're going to forego this season. We don't have to expend costs.
Yeah.
But we'll make it up in the coming years. Whereas these players are like, this is my year. Like, that's it.
Right, yeah.
To make money, to get ready to make money.
Absolutely.
So that's why the players are like, let us play. So
it's a shitty situation.
We'll see how it goes. Luckily, I'm not a huge college football fan, but I know a lot of people are.
I love college football.
I watch it.
It's more exciting for sure.
I guess. Here's my thing.
If you have the right game,
right?
That's more exciting.
That's why I watch the big ones. But I mean, watching Ohio State beat a small school 85-10 is stupid.
Oh no, nobody wants to watch that. I'm all about the big games.
Like,
that
I watch the big games.
Yeah,
I don't have a rooting interest for the most part, but
right.
I watch them.
Same here.
But that leads us into what we're getting ready for this week.
Yes.
Fantasy football season is here.
Draft week.
NFL is moving on. Training camps start this week for NFL teams. And we're getting ready. We actually have our live draft this Friday, so when this releases, it will be drafting tomorrow. I took the day off. I'm going to smoke food. I'm going to get ready.
And I'm going to be there.
Get toasty.
Right there with you.
And, so let's talk some fantasy, man. Let's do it. Have you even looked? Have you even done any research for this?
I have. Honestly, I am the least prepared than I've ever been in past years, seasons, because of probably the coronavirus and COVID and the questionable, is the season even going to happen?
That's not good.
I know.
It's not good because you have the number one pick.
I know.
So you got the number one pick, and then when it comes back, you got the turn. So you got pick 10 and 11.
Right. Because I did so crappy last season.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you got a big responsibility.
I do.
I'm drafting number 5, so I'm right in the middle.
I've got some guys in question. I mean, I have an idea of who I'm going to pick first pick right out of the gate.
So do you have, in your head, do you have a draft strategy you normally go with, or you just kind of go with the flow?
Typically, I've gone with the flow, and it's worked out for me, with the exception of last year. Last year was my worst year ever. And it was probably a combination of I wasn't paying attention, I was too busy. But typically, I just kind of go with the flow. It's a feeling thing. I have been really good at drafting in years past. Maybe not drafting, but maybe even just I drafted these players, but I stuck with them, and they just kind of panned out, and I got lucky type thing.
Yeah.
Because I've had some pretty good years.
Yeah.
But the past few years haven't been so hot, especially last year. Obviously, I got last, so I'm picking first in our league. But it's usually a go-with-the-flow mentality. I'll take the list. I'll take players that I'm familiar with. The thing that I am the worst about is having the knowledge of new players, up-and-coming players, and who's hot, who I should be drafting versus this guy.
So where
that's where I lack.
This is more of a tip and a conversation piece.
Yeah.
The meat of your season comes in rounds, I would say 3.
Yeah.
Start 3. Definitely round 4 to round 13, the middle chunk.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get the breakout players, the guys who you don't see coming, or you pick someone up and they freaking go off. For example, last year, I got Lamar Jackson in the 10th round. And, dude.
Hell of a year. Hell of a season.
Yeah.
Hell of a season.
I didn't do great.
He's being compared to Mike Vick now.
I missed the playoffs due to a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And I contribute that mostly to I had the number 1 pick last year.
Yeah.
Because I did so terrible the previous year. And I didn't draft Ezekiel Elliott because he was holding out. And when we drafted, he was still holding out.
I remember that now.
And I took Alvin Kamara, who
got injured that season, right?
He didn't get injured. He just wasn't involved as much as he had been in the past. So
he did get injured one season, though,
I think he did get injured.
Prior to that?
Maybe. I don't
remember.
Was it
after?
But I also, for example, I also grabbed Derrick Henry in the 4th round. And he's going to go in the 1st round this year. But I traded him.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season for some wide receivers, which it wasn't a bad trade. That one lost me. It was Alvin Kamara didn't produce for a number 1, and then I think my number 2 pick was bad too. But I mean, for example, I'm talking about the meat of the draft, the middle. I drafted Lamar Jackson, who almost single-handedly won me the whole. I
gotcha.
The whole league,
dude. I have literally winged it, so to speak. Not necessarily. I say winged it because I know how deep you dive into all of that.
Yeah.
I don't dig in that deep, but I do my research. Like right up until the drafts, usually a week before, I'll do like a deep dive. Like, all right, who's hot, who's not, type thing. And usually that gets me by, but for whatever reason, last year kicked my ass.
Well, this year's going to be different because we haven't seen training camps yet. There's no preseason games.
Right.
We're kind of drafting earlier than we normally would.
Yeah.
But it's not going to matter because there's no preseason anyway.
Yeah.
So it's going to be dicey. And this year in general, if they play like your number one pick may get COVID. Right. And they're going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Mandatory.
And does that affect the whole team at some point? And then, you got to look at like, how many players do I have on a certain team? How many players do I have on a offense?
See, that's what
a single offense.
What
I'm saying?
There's probably a couple offensive teams you can get away with having multiple players on that offense, but for the most part, I try to.
So real quick,
which
offenses do you think would that play into this season? Like obviously Tampa Bay. With Tom Brady, because he has a stacked offense.
Tampa's one because they have not just Tom Brady, but even before Tom Brady got there.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is a beast.
Stacked offense.
A&M.
Right.
Holler. And then Chris Godwin blew up last year.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 2 studs at wide receiver.
I remember that, yeah. And you got Tom Brady.
And you got Tom Brady
throwing to him.
And Gronkowski.
And Gronk, yeah.
So
which Tom Brady and him obviously have a chemistry.
Tampa Bay is probably one you can get by with. You can't go wrong with Kansas City. Pat Mahomes. You got Kelsey.
Yep.
You got what's his name? Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Watkins, and then they got
Hill.
Guy.
Is Hill healthy now?
Yeah,
because he wasn't.
Good to
right?
Go. Yeah. And honestly, believe it or not, last year Dallas was the number 2 or 3.
Yeah, Dallas is always up there
behind Kansas City,
and so is Dak.
So I mean, you can't. I mean, if you get Dak
Zeke and Dak.
Amari,
yeah.
I mean, Gallup's solid. Then you got CeeDee Lamb now.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott's going to be a top 3 pick.
Yes. Overall.
I think Blake Jarwin, the Dallas tight end, is going to be a sleeper.
Nice. You think so?
I think he's going to be a sleeper. Like, you can get him late.
I like hearing that.
You may even get him in the last round, depending on who you draft with. Of course, in our draft, we got a lot of Cowboy homers. Yeah. So, Cowboys players.
Witten's in Oakland now.
Witten's in Oakland. The Cowboys players tend to go earlier in our draft just because we're
hometown.
All,
yeah,
that's our team. So
yeah.
They get a little more bump than usual. But trying to think who else. What other offenses?
Yeah,
who's
your sleepers? Like who's sleepers ahead of like?
Oh, see, now you're trying to get insider info.
Do you think there's a lot of drafts happening this week? Or is it really early for us?
No, I think it starts this week.
Okay.
I think
so.
It's still
so
early.
You'll see it, but it's real early.
It's still early, but I mean, when you think about it, I think we got 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Normally we draft a week or 2 before season starts.
Right.
This week it's 3 or 4 weeks, or this year it's 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's because of scheduling and all that. Actually, COVID helped us because there's no preseason, only training camp. So it's not like you're not gonna miss a whole lot, and there shouldn't be that many injuries, preseason injuries.
Right.
Could happen, but not likely. Man, so. Whew,
top 3 sleepers. Go.
Oh, I don't know about top sleep. So I'll tell you one.
You already said Jarwin was one, right? You want to use that one?
Jarwin's going to be
and I agree with that.
He'll be a sleeper
because he
can ball.
He can ball.
And now Winton's not there.
Right.
So he's the guy.
He'll get more play time. Yeah. And he's made some impactful plays in the past. So in the red zone, he's made some.
So another guy, I don't know the name off the top of my head, that's gonna go maybe higher than they should, is Kansas City's got a rookie running back.
Okay.
He might break out. He might bust, but he's a rookie running back, and he has a good on that offense.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be playing the pass. They're going to be ready for. He might break out in the run.
Same offense with Tyreek Hill, though, right? Did you say Kansas City?
Yeah. Same. So you got all those wideouts. You got Pat Mahomes throwing and running.
Yeah.
And then you got this new rookie running back.
Right.
He could bust it open. Who else? I like Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake went to Arizona. So Arizona traded David Johnson and some draft picks to Houston for Hopkins.
Okay.
Who's
DeAndre?
Yeah.
Yep.
One of, if not the best wide receivers.
Yes.
And then they also picked up Kenyon Drake to slide into
a video
the running
of
back
him
spot.
This past week.
He's a monster.
Who was it? It was in a pre-season match, and he was talking shit to, I can't remember who the cornerback was.
I think that was old clip.
It was an old clip.
It was D'Angelo Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he shook him, and he basically broke his ankles.
Yeah.
But he was talking.
That was from Hard Knocks.
But because
a few years ago, the Texans were on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
With Hopkins.
That's what it was.
And that's when
that clip, it shows you, DeAndre's dude, the only thing I fear is God. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then he went out there and shook him and broke his ankles, and the dude sat there for a second, and they were like, oh.
So I like.
He might be injured.
So Drake went from Miami to the Cardinals as the running back, and I think he's one. He might be one to pick up. As far as late round quarterback, I think Phillip Rivers might surprise people. I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. I think we talked about
always have been
players. He's one of my favorite. I think one of my top favorite. And
he's in
the Colts now?
Is he always mediocre every season though? He's middle of the road.
Fantasy wise,
he's always middle of the road. You can always get by with
middle
him.
of the road,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's man.
You think he'll take it a notch up at the Colts or what?
I think he'll be better off with Indy than he was with with the Chargers.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
what was the contract? Was it a 1 year or what was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But just in general, quarterback draft strategy. What do you have one, or you just go with it?
I mean, typically it's what, at least third, fourth round before you draft a QB. Typically,
if you're getting for this year, you're getting,
because I'm first, 11th.
If you're getting Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, they're fine there.
Fine where? Third, fourth, or second, third?
No.
Round?
I wouldn't go any higher than
third,
right? Maybe.
That's my mentality always.
But the me, I like getting a quarterback late.
Okay.
That's now. Don't get me. If I'm in the fourth round and Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson falls to me,
available,
I'm scooping.
After you've already drafted,
but after those two are gone, this year, after those two are gone, I'm talking 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round before I even look at a quarterback.
Right. Okay. No. Yeah. And that's been evident.
But
in our,
last year, you got to know you
drafts.
That's where a little bit of research is done and who might do what or who can get close. Because Lamar Jackson 10th round.
Yeah.
And I drafted Dak Prescott.
You drafted Lamar Jackson 10th round last year.
I laughed at it was because I had Lamar Jackson.
But who did you draft a QB before that?
Yeah.
Who?
Dak Prescott.
What round?
Probably
early
6th or 7th
ish. Yeah. Okay.
And then Lamar Jackson was there, and I got him because I had him on my sleeper list.
Damn.
And I think I traded you.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. Well, here's the thing.
Was I coherent at that time or no?
I don't know. No, this was after. This is a few weeks later. I drafted Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott, and since when I traded them, they were 1-2.
Wow.
And I think they finished 1-3.
Okay.
Dak Prescott, since he came into the league, believe it or not, no Cowboy homer. This is just stats.
Yeah.
He's been the second or third best fantasy quarterback.
He's right now on the stats, which I looked today. He's ranked the second highest QB in the league, under I believe Lamar Jackson.
Yep. Fantasy wise, we're just talking fantasy football.
Not even fantasy
Lamar,
wise.
Pat Mahomes, and Dak are the guys right now, and
Yes.
most people don't think of Dak in that way.
Yeah.
So I drafted the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks for last year in the 6th and 10th rounds. So I'll jump on a deal, but I won't. I'm not worried about quarterback. I don't think quarterback's going to make or break your season. I mean, I had Lamar Jackson and I didn't make the playoffs. It's running back and it's wide receiver, and the last couple of years it's been tight end. You got to get a tight end that can produce.
Yeah.
So that's
the list I'm looking at right now. Lamar Jackson's first, Patrick Mahomes, and then Dak.
Yep.
And that's like official.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the stats. This is where everybody lays.
So part of my nerdism.
Dak Prescott
this is the last thing I'll get before we bounce out of this is.
Yeah.
So I do put a spreadsheet together. I use a few different things to kind of make my own list, and then I also, my nerd self, started another spreadsheet where I'll run.
Does it generate numbers? Do you have it down to like that? To where you plug in numbers and it generates a list or something?
No.
Okay.
It's all manual.
Because that would be fucking dope.
It's all manual. But even
right.
During the season, I have a spreadsheet of, and I have it calculated. I have it, the colors and all that, where I put in the projections.
Yeah.
And I put what they actually did. And it'll be like green, red, black, did they underperform, overperform, and after a few weeks, I can see who's.
Yeah. Green, red.
Yeah, who's where, and I keep track of it that way. But I also, as far as draft strategy goes, I've also I'll compile the last 3 or 4 years of where they finished rankings on fantasy. Like Dak, the last 3 years he's been 4, 2, 3, 2.
Yeah.
As far as quarterback ranking,
right?
And then I'll do an average. Last 4 years, average. Where is this player falling?
3-ish
on the scale. So Lamar Jackson, of course, he's an outlier. But I mean, you take someone who's been in the league for a while,
right?
Drew Brees.
Right.
I take Drew Brees' last 4 years, see where he ended up.
Yeah.
And it's telling me, he might be number 5 on the prediction sheet that you're looking at.
Right.
When I average his ranking the last 4 years, he might be number 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I kind of generate my own stuff.
That makes sense.
By taking the fact, I just, and then you got, again, common sense. Lamar Jackson, his average is going to be down because he didn't play much the year before.
Right.
And he's only been in the league 2 years if you're doing a 4-year average.
Right.
But for the most part, it gives me at least an idea. Like Dak, I would have never known Dak's a solid top 5 QB.
Yeah.
Except when you look at it, he's never been out of the top 5 since he's been in the league in fantasy football.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of. I'm into it. I can't wait. I'm hoping.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm only in 2 leagues. I'm hoping my second league, I'll get to do another live draft.
I'm only in 2 too. I'm in a Yahoo league that is strictly online. We're not meeting up in person like we are for this draft, which is going to be fun. The way I prefer it. It'll be fun.
So before we
Yahoo League.
Yeah.
ESPN, Yahoo, which one do you prefer?
We use ESPN, but you can nowadays you can customize them. I mean,
do you have a preference though? Like, do you like a platform better than the other?
I like ESPN's.
Okay. Yeah.
It's solid.
Yahoo's is decent too.
I don't know.
Have you played on a Yahoo League?
No.
Yahoo Fantasy? Okay.
It's
similar.
I just don't look. It don't matter which platform I use. I tend to not trust the projections or the rankings.
Yeah.
They're close, but I like to have my own.
You mean Barry's predictions?
I guess, yeah. That guy.
Well, that's the only one that's giving out predictions.
Yeah.
I will watch, I think there's a show on ESPN in the mornings, like Sunday mornings. It's like fantasy football, something. right? I'll watch that shit on ESPN.
One. Yep.
And they give you a good rundown.
See, I'm just so not anti-ESPN. They just been played out. Like I will watch anything but ESPN at this point.
Well, yeah, because they're just looking to gain viewers, right?
Yeah.
You know,
so,
keep it interesting.
But before we bounce out of here, we do have a draft this week.
Mm-hmm.
When this drops, it'll be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the number one pick?
Number one pick.
Do you want to go on record?
I'll go on record
of what your number one pick will be.
I will go on record right now and let you know what my number one pick is.
Really?
Yeah.
We're doing it. Lock it in.
I'll lock it in right now.
If you change your mind, you know I'm going to ridicule you. As long as nothing changes injury-wise between now and then.
No, I'm confident in this.
Okay.
And it's purely
I'm excited. Like I'm
it's
tingling.
The fact that he's in the top 5 and he's a homeboy. So I'm going Zeke. First pick.
Zeke number 1.
I'm going Zeke number 1.
I think that's what cost me last year. I ain't mad at you.
Well, hey, I'm going Zeke number 1 because I think he's probably more focused than he ever has been. Him and Dak both. And yeah. I mean, he's top 3. The list I'm looking at, he's top 3. So I'm going Zeke. First pick.
Dang.
I'm going Zeke first pick.
I'm gonna
forego Saquon.
A little bit of a surprise.
And McCaffrey, I have first on the list.
Those are the 3, and I don't think you can go. So in my,
I understand McCaffrey's a beast.
Right. But Cam's not there this year.
Right.
McCaffrey's the offense.
Right, and you have Dak and Zeke.
So the top 3 running back, this is the first year where I would even consider drafting Barkley. Period.
Yeah.
Just because
it's between Barkley
and Zeke. As much
as
we hate Jason Garrett, he loves to run the ball.
Right.
And so Barkley's going to get touches.
Yes.
But I would probably say I don't think you can go wrong McCaffrey or Zeke. Like I would honestly probably go Zeke if I had number 1 pick this year.
It's between McCaffrey and Zeke, but I'm not confident in McCaffrey because, like you said, Cam's not there.
Yeah, no. Everyone's saying he's a locked-in number 1.
Dak and Zeke have that dynamic. They've been playing together for years.
It's questionable. Man, I don't blame you. All right,
there's a
Cody's
new staff.
on record.
I'm going.
I'll let
Zeke
you know
first
if he
pick.
changes his mind before Friday.
I'm not changing. I'm going Zeke.
So, and then we'll see if anyone from our league listens to this. But yeah, so all right, Cody's going number 1 draft pick this year. Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, I love him.
All right,
he's a top RB for a reason. So, I mean, you can't deny him.
All right, well, I imagine we're going to have some stories and have some fun on Fantasy Draft, and we might bring those to the table next week. But we got to get out of here. That's it for Modern Dude Chat. We've taken enough time. Again, we got to get this under control.
Hey, and the only way that we can get this under control is to have some guests on.
Yep.
And our guests hold us accountable. So.
Yep, pretty much. And we're going to get there. But.
No, we're going to have a guest next week.
We're doing it.
We're gonna do it. So you guys stay tuned. Guests next week, and we're hoping to get some more guests in here on a regular basis because it's been too long, and that's where we really have fun on this podcast is bringing somebody in, and it kind of changes it up for us. You know, we get to ask questions, and they get to ask questions, and we just get to have some banter. Yep. I mean, in the end. So
yeah.
Next week, expect a guest. Stay tuned.
Yep, and in the meantime, check out YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on social media at Modern Dude Chat. If you listen to this, just takes about 10 seconds. Review, rate, all that fun stuff on whatever platform you're on. Throw me off.
Boom.
Yeah, so YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the things on social media at Modern Dude Chat or Modern Dude Chat Podcast. Hit us up, help us out, and we'll keep moving on. Yeah. So, nothing else. Yeah.
Skullberry.
Skullberry.
Charlie Crockett.
Yay!
And MDC Podcast. You guys support us all the way. Congrats, Brad P. Your field notes set of 3 is coming your way.
Boom.
Thank you for being a Patreon listener. You're awesome. Please go subscribe, screenshot, share the episode, show everybody that you're listening. Please share and let everybody know that you're listening to Modern Dude Chat. We can't express that enough. We appreciate it. Big things are happening. Expect a new guest next week. That's it.
We'll catch you next time.
Peace.